Most people assume that because we live in the Pacific Northwest, we must get a ton of rain, but that's the west side. We're the east side of Washington State, which means we're in a desert climate. We get almost no rain, especially during the summer. Luckily, our property has a well, which makes it possible to irrigate all of these flowers. But beyond that, the sound of water is so magical and the smell of water is so magical, so I really wanted to incorporate a pond into our greenhouse gardens. The soil that this pond was going into was really poor, and so I knew I really wasn't going to be able to develop it into any sort of garden, which made it really kind of a perfect space to hardscape this pond in. So we were able to build a small little pond at the top, a small little pond at the bottom, and have a nice little stream going in between the two. And luckily, Stuart knows how to wield a shovel, and so he was able to dig the ponds out in no time. And of course, he always has many hands to help. But once Jeremy got here, we were really able to make some headway on this pond. And we started by making sure everything was dug out the way that we wanted. And really, we just kind of guessed on this. Most great projects start that way, right?
Cut that. We got our 90. So this is a 90-degree angle. The reason you use one of these, you have two pieces of pipe, and you have one piece going in one direction, like this. But you need to make a turn.
Oh, stop it. I thought you were going to give me some valuable information.
You don't make the pipe
Stop it.
with the bend in it.
I'm ignoring you now.
So if you want to put a bend in it, you gotta get one of these angles.
Once the pond was dug out, all we had to do was lay a thick sheet of pond liner over the top, which keeps, of course, the water from running out. So really, this was an inexpensive project. We had the pond liner, we had a pump that pumped the water from the bottom pool to the top pool through a PVC pipe. We had some local rock that we were able to get from a neighbor of ours. And really, that was it, other than a day of labor. Truth be told though, I really struggle with projects like these because I can see them in my mind's eye much faster than they actually come into fruition. So the entire time that the guys were stacking the rock like a puzzle and fitting all the pieces together, putting gravel in the bottom and filling all those little cracks, all I could think about was how badly I wanted to get in there and plant. I even planted a little too close to the edge before we got the project started, so there were a few plants that were lost in the construction project, but maybe they'll come back next year, we'll see. So while the pond project was going on and the guys were fitting the final pieces into place, I went to the plant nursery and stocked up on a few things that I really wanted to line the pond with. So that included creeping ginny, which would kind of cover some of the rocks and soften the hardscape a bit. Hardy geranium, of course, is a new favorite of mine, so we put a few of those in as well. Georgia helped me to plant succulents along the rock, and these will really fill in the coming years and give something that you can step on, but that adds a visual interest as it grows in. And while we were busy doing this and shoveling dirt and moving rock, of course, the other gardens certainly didn't stand still. And so the peonies bloomed, the lupin bloomed, the sunflower sprouted, and the roses, June's roses, came to be put on display. It was quite magnificent. It's only been a few weeks since we've got this pond in, and I've been amazed at how much stuff has already grown in. But while we've been dining al fresco and really enjoying the sound of the running water that runs right next to our outside dining area, the rest of the gardens have just been exploding and going crazy. The flowers are blooming. Of course, they need to be weeded, because anytime you give attention to a project, weeds just happen to know and pop up everywhere. So stay tuned, because I'm going to give you an updated tour of the cottage gardens coming up in just a few days, so that you can see exactly what's been going on in our market garden and in the potager.